GM, wake up, let's go. Web 2, Web 3, stay in the know. Action, Dabatola, Toki in the zone. Breaking down the latest, straight to your phone. From Web 2 shifts to Web the waves. News, deep dives, hot takes for days. Tech's evolving, the world's in spin. Markets move, let's lock it in. Genzio's here, no time to snooze. Tune in now, get the news. GM. Wake up, let's go. Web 2, Web 3, stay in the know. GM, start the show. GM, wake up, let's go. Web 2, stay in the know. GM, start the show. GM, let's go. Web 2, stay in the know. GM, start the show.
GM, everyone, and welcome. Happy Wednesday, hump day, middle of the week here, and it looks like Bitcoin is holding on, and we will chat a little bit and discuss whether or not we think that we're going to see some bullish momentum come about, or if maybe we are going to retrace a little bit. Hopefully not. You know, we see a lot of red in the market, lots of chaos in the world. And even a little bit on the positive side now, some good rumblings of things that are going to be coming out of permissionless and NFT and NYC next week, which I definitely want to touch upon at some point. But Toki, how you doing this morning, man? How's it going?
GM. It's been an interesting morning so far, that's for sure. I know as soon as I opened up my phone this morning, I was like, nah, I'm not ready for today.
No.
I'll try again tomorrow.
Looks like Action isn't ready for the day either, as he is. I'm just going to say he's no showing, but he's probably going to pop in the stream in a little bit. I think he had some real world life things to do, right?
Sadly,
is that what it's called?
No, he had some stuff happen over the weekend that he now has to take care of this week as a result. So
well, check it out. Already joining as we're starting this morning. Thank you, Down Home Crypto.
Serenity.
We got our boy Blue. Come here for the laughs and realize I bought the wrong alts. That joke's on me. I think the joke's on most of us because a lot of us went heavy. If you were around from last cycle coming out, a lot of us went heavy on alts across the board. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of us have our doubts or our regrets a little bit, but we are still holding strong. And the ones that are pushing, building, hopefully will come out on top, and maybe we will get those gains. Just might take a little longer than we planned. And who else do we got here? Oh, our boy
Bama.
Bama, what's going on, my man? Good to see you tapping in with us. Hope all is good. So yeah, Bitcoin is holding on just barely. Saw a green candle or two in the last couple hours, but now I'm wondering if sort of just staying the course because of the tensions in the Middle East. I think that has a lot to do with it. Also, don't we have a Fed meeting at 2 p.m. Eastern today?
Yes, it is at 2 p.m. Eastern.
So maybe in about an hour and a half from now, we'll see a little bit of volatility. We'll see some jumping around. But I think, like we said yesterday, is most of the last year plus of Fed meetings, there wasn't much. That like the candles they weren't as crazy as I feel a couple years ago. Now I could be wrong. I have to look back at the charts, but that's what it feels like. So not expecting too much from here. I'd be shocked. I don't know about you if we got a cut.
I'm
I'm
not
not
expecting
gonna.
a cut.
Yeah, I'm not expecting
I'm not expecting
anything.
any of the
Expecting
rates
to
to move.
hold.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be shocked either way if we were increased or if we got a cut. I don't think inflation ticked up enough to warrant an increase, and also with uncertainty and now oil prices are moving and markets are volatile a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know if they want to make any moves. Sort of see where the dust settles and come back and revisit this. So I don't know. Look at this. Expect a raise when we jump to 92. So
See, Dodger Blue, I can kind of get behind that though. I can see there being that chance of a raise and us dipping under 100 with ease. Like that would totally be the pushing point. If that was going to be the thing, it was going to be a raise and we dump under 100.
If there's a raise, I think we're going under 100. I completely agree. But I just think that I'd be very surprised if that was to happen. I think we just hold, and everyone's kind of seeing where the dust settles and move forward. Now, hopefully, hopefully I was gonna say there's peace, between Israel and Iran. But the one thing that I saw was two tweets that contradicted each other. Like one was saying that Trump said Iran's ready to have talks, and the other one was from Iran saying that they're ready to like retaliate or continue strikes or something along those. And I'm just like, it's really strange when you see just opposite news. This was this morning. I should have kept the tweets to share, but I did not. Look at this. Ryan is saying Hex to $5. Ryan, what's the price of Hex right now? Let's see. Wait, I read an Iran DEX got hacked. I would imagine that the amount of cyber attacks and things going on are highly increased, especially.
That's actually true.
From Israel,
Iran-based crypto exchange hacked for 48 million.
Send the link over. I'll pull it up.
Absolutely. Actually, here I'll just pull that out there.
Or share it.
Yeah, I gotta switch over.
Well, I wonder does it say how much it was hacked for?
48 million.
Ooh. All right, so significant amount. And hold on a second. That's I'm wondering if anyone, what's the name of the DEX? I wonder if anyone actually has heard or really used it, or if it's more contained within, Iranians using it. But 50 million. Oh, that was my screen, right?
Yeah, that was my bad.
All right.
So it is called Nobatex.
All right. Taken offline and threatens to release data, escalated cyber conflict there. And it's by an Israel-linked group. So
Predatory Sparrow.
Not only is there like war, but there's some cyber war and attacks going on here, and they're going right after crypto. So what does it say? The drain funds were USDT via Tron, according to Zach XBT. Well, Tron moves it the fastest, the cheapest, right?
That's true, and Zach's usually on top of it when it comes down to that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, if you don't know who he is, I would suggest following him. If there's any scams or various things that are going on, things like this, he investigates and tracks wallets and puts all sorts of data together. So he is what is that? He's doing God's work as far as providing information, like clear information on things, because a lot of this is hard to interpret and then track. It gets very confusing. So he puts it all together.
There's a lot of data points, and he really turns that data into consumable information. Better than, quite frankly, any of these other news outlets have. That's why they, quite frankly, quote him so often.
So Ryan was saying Hex is at a half penny. and go to $5. Oh man, I'd have to look at the market cap. I'd have to pull up Action site that he did the other day to see what that is. But are those those XRP numbers, like it's going to 10,000? Is that one of those? I think so.
No.
It might just be. But I see there's a handful of people over on YouTube. Appreciate everyone there. Make sure you smash the like, leave a comment, share it. All that helps the algorithm. Also, in the description there's a link for free public Telegram. You could join and jump in, and we discuss everything from Memecoins to, Bitcoin and bigger market cap alts and all sorts of things that affect it. So definitely tap in with us.
Did you read this part?
No. Let it. What's it say?
Okay. The group, so the Gonjeshki Duranda, I don't know. The one that's predatory sparrow. So they're claiming that employment at Novatex qualifies as military service under Iranian law, implying that the exchange is part of the country's defense and intelligence infrastructure. That is
so maybe
that is such a leap, my guy.
Well, it is. I agree, it's a leap. But what if money from that exchange is being
directly tied into
tied to the military, to certain operations, things like that? It's very possible. You could have people who are just launch those things, and that's their thing, is to help fund other stuff, or maybe the government is like, hey, in order for you to actually stay operational and us not to whatever, like, we're taking our cut. I mean, who knows the possibilities? But I do agree. That blanket of a thing is like, it seems like you're fishing. But
that's a big statement to just be throwing out there. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, look at this. Blue is going like this. It's going from, what? One thing that, and Blue's going to probably hate me for saying this, but the one thing that, I don't know, people think that actually could do that was Caspa, because it was down that low and it had gone up to 20-something cents. If people foresee in the future that could reach a few dollars. So I don't know. On another thing, which just reminds me from Caspa, is our friend Tactical. Man. Man. YouTube, for some reason, started randomly taking videos down and then took his account down. I think he's appealing. If anybody sees this, hears this, who's in, X or any of the platforms watching that has a contact at YouTube, or somebody, a contact that has a contact, shoot them a message and hit him up on X, because, man, he's been grinding it out for years, had great content. He's an awesome guy. And that would be like the last person I'd ever expect to
it didn't make any sense on why
it makes absolutely no sense. I think that with a proper appeal, he will get the channel back. But if anybody can help him, I know, if I was in that situation, even with my small following, I'd be upset. You put in work and time, and you've connected with a lot of people. So I hope he gets his channel back. But if anybody knows anybody, shoot a message out for sure. Let's see. I'm trying to see all the comments here and go through a few of them. We have a few people also tuned in on Arena app today, and I don't know, I like the Arena app, and we've been trying to make sure to just keep the stream fun and accessible. So yeah, we're on all these different platforms, and I see Action even here in the comments, and he's like, "Oh, do the market cap thing for Caspa. How about do the attend your stream thing with your hosts and co-hosts? How about that?" Sorry, we'll call each other here. The only thing, what we're missing? We're missing Action and the singing.
All right? I can start singing.
And I can remove you. That's how that works, everyone. No. I'm gonna.
So I looked up Hex because I wanted to see like what was really going on there. Especially like to $5, was that even remotely something that was like feasible? Their videos up to 2 years ago, when people were talking about after the launch, is a $5 Hex possible? And even 2 years ago, they're saying, nah, not likely.
Oh,
So
where's this
as of
one
right
site
now,
that I
if
had?
it hasn't gotten there by this point, that was 2 years ago when people were predicting it. Like even right now, the best quote unquote prediction on Reddit is saying that it may be worth $1 in 3 years. As
All
in
right,
it
hold on.
might be worth $1 in
We're getting
2026.
extremely sidetracked here, but it's okay.
What do you mean?
Because this is no. I'm just saying because I'm about to dig in even more.
I
I'm
mean,
like, all
hey,
right,
yeah,
that's it. Let's look this up. Let's pull this up.
I really wanted to understand what he was talking about for Hex. I still don't
How do we do this?
see it.
Nope. Let's
I
remove
don't see it
you.
hitting
Add
$5
this.
by any means.
All right. I'm trying to see the numbers here. Market cap. Oh, 3 billion. And that's the price? And you're saying $5? Ooh. Hold on. I'm going to the easier phone to do, or easier calculator for me on my phone. So I have so many windows open here.
Pulse chain.
There's no way. I got to turn my phone sideways for this. Sorry, everyone. It's true though. Wow. That's a million. That's a billion. Is that 3 trillion? Is that a 3 trillion market cap? It's 1,000x. It's 1,000x 3 billion. So is that 3 trillion at 5? So at a buck, it's a fifth of that, which is like still pretty unbelievable. I don't know. I mean, let's see with the comments. Let me go back and let's see. Market cap's 500 million. I don't know where we're all pulling the info from. Only the Hex cult is buying that. Who nobody with an insane mind in crypto will buy. I don't know. A lot of people did buy in. I just don't know. Like I'm looking look at the yearly here. You know, well, round tripped. Round trip. It did go up to. Look at that. Surprisingly, that went up to 3 cents. Far off from a buck. Far off from whatever. But from a half a penny. People made some profits there in the height of that boom after politics, December into January. But now we're back where it is. Let me see on this. Yeah, I mean, even getting to like 50 cents and stuff. I mean, look, this is the thing is our altcoins. Look at just our altcoin market in general, right? It's flat. It's dead. I mean, it's dead. There's really no action on that. Only a couple of them. So to think that this one at whatever rank it was, even on CoinMarketCap at 3,000, they're all close to 3,400, is going to be the one that pulls off this 10, 15, 20x. I don't know. It's hard to believe. Now, anybody holding, I hope it goes above that 2-3 cents mark. So you make money. Same with anyone in alts that's feeling it, because I mean, this is a lot of the conversation that's going on behind the scenes with everyone that I know, is just this like anger and depression about the altcoin situation. People are trading it. Like we see this news, and we were saying earlier in a space, a lot of people I know were actually trading Solana. Now it's not a bigger altcoin, already hit 300. We're back down in like the 140s, 150s, but a lot of people were trading that because they knew it was moving, a few bucks up to $10 in that span on news such as the conflict or the Fed or anything. So I know people that's just been playing that sort of thing. But yeah, any of these doing huge numbers this year, I would hope we get that proper altcoin season, but I doubt it. I doubt that's going to be as strong as before. I think cycles changing. Times are changing. There's uncertainty. And as much as I'm bullish on crypto and Bitcoin, I think that
what times are changing exactly?
it's going to take a little bit, with regulations, political landscape as crypto, the adoption rate, people's mentality about it. there's lots of things, but I think that our path to, like, when people were talking all in like last year and before about parabolic movement, and I think that it's just going to be a little bit longer of a time frame to get where we're going. I've been patient though, in and out of crypto for a decade, so I'm prepared for the next decade. I don't think my hair, the color of it, or it's staying in, is prepared for the stress of another decade of crypto. I think it's going to go fully gray and maybe even start falling out because crypto ages you so quickly. But
Yo, I'm trying to keep this gingery red as long as possible.
one day you're going to wake up and be like, oh, that's what I did. And I'm like,
Just like a streak of
going,
gray.
what the heck is going on here? I'm seeing some messages pop up because some notifications. I was in the big red TG earlier and asking, because next week, as I mentioned earlier about permissionless in Brooklyn, and then NFT NYC going on. These are going on the same time, the middle of next week into the weekend. I'm really on the fence about going. I have family and friends up there, so it's pretty easy to kind of go and do it. But been traveling a ton, just been absolutely traveling a ton. So I'm not sure. I know there's going to be lots of great events going on as well. Look at you. You're closer. Are you going to make it out?
I'm not going.
No.
I'm looking at the costs of how much it's going to be, because it's New York City.
Well, you got what, like 3-4 hour drive to New York?
No, I'll just take a train ride.
Oh.
Yeah, because I can just take the train.
You're not gonna just do like a one-nighter, in and out. I know it gets stressful and annoying, but there's a part of me that kind of wants to go because there could be some horse races lining up, and it could be like one of the nights at the track. That's me.
Would be cool. The only issue that I have is how much it costs to get around New York City, because if you're not already at or close to the event that you want to be, then you have to either figure out what's going to be the fastest way to get there. And if you're trying to catch a cab, that's expensive. If you're trying to get some type of ride in general, that's expensive. If you're trying to walk, it's probably further away than you think it is. And while I do love walking throughout NYC, I don't actually enjoy walking for miles. I'll walk like a couple blocks, but like, bro, these events, last time I was at NFT NYC, they were so far apart.
Event hopping is a pain, and like run to the subway and then wait and take the train and just all this different stuff. Like, to me, while people feel that could be a convenience with some of that public transportation and running around the city, for me, all these other places that we've been, it's been so easy to be walking out of the Airbnb or wherever I'm staying, calling an Uber, Kareem, whatever that other one, a Grab, and just coming up and just, a couple times a little bit of traffic, but everything has just been so much easier on most of the cities I've been to. Even Vegas
New York City is a different beast.
Yeah, Vegas though, you have to just go to the proper area. Yeah, New York, and then
the events are always literally all over the city. Like, if you're trying to go from Brooklyn to Manhattan for different events, like, come on, man. Because stuff's going to be in Soho. Stuff's going to be in
It's hard to wing it. It's hard to wing it there. That's the problem. Like, so when you have a list of events and you're like, okay, we're here, and then somebody hits you up and then they're in Soho and they're like, come over, and maybe you're not even certain if your Luma went through or whatever the story is, then you're bouncing. You know what I mean? Like, so you always just chatting with people, Telegram, posting, and they're like, come by the event, let's do this. And then it's like half hour, 45 minutes.
No, it is not. It's not here.
No. Grab and Kareem are both on here. Yeah, Grab's in Asia and Kareem is in Dubai, which I'd have to say both of those apps I feel are a little bit better put together.
Grab's amazing. Grab is by far the best app. If you were ever in Thailand, the only app that you need is Grab. That's for getting rides. That's for getting food. I'm talking like I had food delivered.
So they even have stations at the airport.
Dude,
like, a huge sign, Grab. Yeah. They have people working to like get you to the cars as they're pulling up. They check your thing. Like they really go like above and beyond with that stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, so like one of the best parts about getting food in Thailand with Grab was how cheap it was. Because I could order like a fairly good meal, and still everything was under like $5 USD.
This action says it's called grab in Thailand, and that might be a little bit sus.
Well, the only one that's sus right now is Action not showing up to his own stream, but you know.
Yeah, exactly. What's your excuse, Action? We want to see it in the we want to see it in the comments. You need to apologize to everyone who showed up today while you did not. Yeah. This Action plays hooky today. It's fine. We're getting used to this. Action being too busy for everyone out there.
I guess it happens.
No.
You know,
life gets busy. No, life gets
so
busy. Oh, let's see.
What's an arrow?
Hey, if anyone's got a couple,
arrow.
Yeah, throw out some tickers and whatnot if there's some things you want to look up. All of last year, I did a DGen stream. We were doing a lot of meme coins and pulling up alts and stuff, and people would throw out the ticker or the contract in the comments. So feel free to throw that out in X or YouTube, and we could pull up a few charts, see how things are doing, and and look into it and maybe do a little bit of Q&A here as well. Actually, apologizing for leaving. So
yeah, he probably should at this point.
Closed the long at 82 cents on that. Do you have that in CoinMarketCap or somewhere pulled up that we could display it, or I could always see in here? Let's see.
I am almost ready. I wanted to make sure I was looking at the right one. It's called Aerodrome Finance?
Yeah.
Okay, then yes, I have the right one.
So it's a closed out along at 82 cents. We're sitting at 83, and I'm assuming he picked it up anywhere probably as low as in the 40s. Be nice to catch it on, let me move this back to, it depends on when you opened your long.
That's what I was looking at.
Well, because he had some movement. He could have caught it on the daily. Hey, out of curiosity, what'd you catch that at? But hey, look at, hopefully that meant you closed that long and you're way up in profit and playing the game here. So,
I mean, if he closed it at 82, that's a pretty good. I mean,
well, he's up regardless. I mean,
yeah,
in the last week, like bring it back a month. Let's see how they're doing. Just trying to see where they've been maintaining here. Oh yeah, there's so much room for that. Was just over the holiday.
Ooh, 75 cents, and you took it up from there. That's actually a pretty good call. That's solid.
Sure. Here's on the daily.
At 8x too.
Right there. Caught that. I'm wondering if you're in the same time zones you caught that and you were overnight, because I always like to ask people when they're trading how like, I know you could set stop losses and all those things, but usually I'm not a big fan of like going to sleep and then and having trades open, because like the market, unless there's one and I'm like up and my my stop loss is in the profits way up anyways, but ultimately I try to get that stuff done during the day. I mean, there's been times I've been up for like an entire weekend because I got wrapped up in big leverage plays going wrong and barely gotten out. So curious if people, and then the other thing is that if you have them open really long and you're up, then next thing you know, on some of these exchanges, they wick you out and they're like, what? This is open for 3 weeks. And I was doing, and then they're like, you wanted to keep it going, but look at right here. He's got that conviction, and, I guess right about now, in the last few weeks, yeah, you see it make it go up and you take some profit. I'm probably with the Middle East tensions. I'm curious if we'll see that go up a bit more, but I think that was a good call, closing that long, taking your profits, and then, reevaluating and maybe going in for another entry at some point. But sounds like you got some trades open and you're on top of it. That's awesome. And 8x on that for the win. making some money on the market. I was saying earlier on Space that
Mhm.
thinking about trading a little bit, but I think I'm looking at maybe just doing some trades on Solana.
Some Solana trades. What are you gonna
Yeah.
do? You're talking like meme coins?
No. Actually on Solana, leverage trading
Oh,
with
oh,
Solana.
oh, 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 oh. I thought,
Because
okay. So I
like
was like,
there's on,
mm,
we dipped down on that initial dip, I guess, with the conflict. And see, it's been up to 160. I know some people took the long and took the short, and it was just straight on the news. Someone was also
mhm.
pointing out that, you see big action movement in Bitcoin, and within 5 minutes, Solana's reacting. So few people I know have been successful. I'm keeping an eye on the pattern as well, just to see if, hey, could I go in there, I don't know, 10x, take a few bucks up or whatever. Just, I don't know, kill the boredom. Last year I was in the trenches with meme coins. I wasn't trading so much. I was in the casino more.
Yeah, that's
Now
true.
I'm
You were.
thinking, you know
You
what?
sure
I'll
were.
back out of the trenches a little bit. Still have my ear to the ground. There's still people keeping me posted, but maybe take a few of these trades when you have, volatile movement on big global events in the news. So,
So are you gonna do both shorts and longs then on
oh
Sol's?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I think that I feel safest with a long that isn't necessarily a huge leverage play, because if the liquidation is like under low 130s or under, I think it would take a lot to get there, but the one thing that could push it is if Bitcoin drops under 100. I think we can see it. So I want to see if something
That's why I
comes
was thinking about
crazy
taking
out
a
of the
short.
Fed. Like
Yeah.
after stream, I think chill, catch up on a little bit of work. I know that there's a space I'm going to try to be part of, and then right around that time of the space also is the Fed.
Mm-hmm.
So that will be my signal on whether or not I should be trading and how. I'm going to let this cycle of news today run and then make some decisions and evaluate based on that.
I'm
Okay, here. So
surprised.
I'm entering Sol at 120 to 130. Hope it falls below 130. I think that's the variable. I think it will if we Bitcoin gets to like 100 or lower. Yeah. I'm gonna pop back over to check out, because we're on so many platforms, Arena here, and say hello. But yeah, has anyone else got any tickers there? Throw something else out. What do you want us to pull up? I'm actually
We got some
curious
good ones
on
today so far.
alts. Yeah, no, definitely. Is there anything you're looking at? I'll just in the meantime pull up one that keeps coming up recently. Number 12.
Oh yeah,
Sui.
Sui. No, I have been looking at
So
Sui.
I asked Action. He can't find it. I don't know what that means. If it's overwritten, deleted, someone else has it. But at ETH Denver, we saw some of the team from Sui, and everyone pronounces Sui. So there was a bunch of video clips taken with people, and it was hilarious. And I wanted to actually share, because you hear this in spaces and on streams all the time. But this is at 277, and I'm not even gonna BS. Like, I haven't been purchasing a lot recently, but I did DCA into Sui. And the other day, I purchased like I mentioned on stream, I purchased my first Sui NFT, support the Doonies, and actually skateboarding. If you look at my
Mm-hmm.
my post today, my GM post today, it's actually a photo of me from the skateboard ramp I had in my backyard for a long time. But yeah, so I had to support the Doonies and that. But look, at 277, I think is great. I think it could, the variable, like we were saying, is if something crazy happens and Bitcoin drops below 100, it's like all bets off. I think we see these go down more. But considering we had this just over $5 in its high, I mean, like, I feel any of this in the 2 to 3 range is a great entry. If for some reason
Absolutely.
this goes below that, I mean, I don't know. I think we brought up last week a little bit. So we talked about Sui and about the team a tiny bit. And I remember being on a stream where somebody had asked about Facebook, and they were a long time ago, Meta was trying to do a stable coin. I think it was called Figma.
Yeah.
This is back in 2018 or 2019. So I did a quick little research on it, just not too deep, like ChatGPT, Grok, couple things like that, to see if the team members actually who are behind SWI are part of that, were involved in that. And yes, that was the case. So it doesn't surprise me that they're talking, you're going back to 2018. They were trying to do a blockchain with Meta, with a stable coin, a currency, which they were trying to push for, I think, almost a couple years. I think it had a couple rebrands in names as well. And now they're behind this. So, and there's a lot of money behind SWI. So I see them doing very, very well. And look at, we got some fans.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, RIP, or it's this one. Here you go. RIP Banger in the Hangar. That was the event that I did at my house. Had lots of pro skaters and stuff there. But I think I'll probably pick up another Doonies NFT at some point here. But I'm going to add more to SWI and some of these bigger altcoins if we see that pullback. Like I said, I think Fed's going to hold today. I think you're in agreement here. Pretty sure everyone in the comments is, hey, if anyone in the comments, if you think, let us know. Do you think that we're going to see a hike, a cut, or hold?
I see a comment I want to actually address real quick. I heard they're developing a Pokemon game on SWI. So it's not actually a Pokemon game per se. It's more about their Pokemon home. And Genzu actually did an interview with their team on this at one of the recent gaming events. Let me see if I can push that up there. Yeah, so Pokemon has actually already launched what they're doing, and they built digital souvenirs on SWI, other NFTs essentially. And so now you can trade these medals, which basically all look exactly the same. It doesn't seem like it's anything too crazy right now. It's kind of more just feels like service to the fans as far as the ones that are getting interested in blockchain, or the ones that have already been on blockchain. What's going to happen from here? I'm not too sure. I know they want to kind of upgrade this and make them mean something or worth something later down the road. But right now, there's not really a lot of information out on it. I know that SWI is planning to actually release more in the near future, though. So we'll see what happens. If something really does come of it, that will be really cool for the Pokemon ecosystem. But otherwise, like right now, it's just an NFT. It's cool, but like as even right here, as Dajalu said, every chain has had a Pokemon news, but it doesn't always turn out. So yes, SWI is a gaming one, so there's better chances per se. But again,
the gaming aspect, and then the device that they have, which I saw, it was very nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and like I said in the last, I think I said this about their conference, from Paris to then this year, it was like 5 times the size. So many more people. There's so much more development. I just see it doing extremely well. It's number 12 right now. It was number 12. Actually, it has a 9.4 billion market cap and sitting at $2.77, and we've seen it as high as like $5.20. So I could see that going up. You know, I did DCA in because I believe in dollar cost average. Do I think I'm going to be able to get a lower entry point than this? Not financial advice, but I think so, because the summer tends to be slow, and we're going to know in the next, like between now and the end of July, how this is going to start moving. So if we see Bitcoin, like we were saying, drop under 100, then there's going to be a fire sale on some of these bigger alts. I feel like we're going to get, like we've heard, the last chance to pick up before things go. You know, I really think that time is a ticking, and we could get those entries and get that last bit in our bags. And some of these are like, look, some are never going to perform again, right? Like, let's just be honest. But SWI and a bunch others that we've talked about, I feel are. So if I can add to my bags this summer and in this price range, or possibly even lower, then I'm going to DCA in and then I'm gonna be extremely happy with the benefits of when we're up.
Absolutely.
And
There
they're
is
in the
actually
long haul. This isn't going to be
oh
over by
yeah,
the end of
yeah.
this cycle, you know.
No.
So
SWE has way too much money put in for it to be a short-term kind of thing, especially with some of their agreements. Like they're multi-year agreements at this point. So very cool to see on that point. I'd also like to point out that there's been another advancement as far as the gaming crypto atmosphere goes. And that is the battle pass that Avalanche actually launched. A free mint. It's essentially costing you 0.053 AVAX. Actually, kind of cool. It looks like it's going on for another 27 days. So if you're interested, if you would like the opportunity, you can just go to Magic Eden, and the Avalanche Battle Pass for Season 1 is already there. What it means, what it will do, bro, I don't know the specifics from there, but as far as I'm concerned, if it's a gaming opportunity and it's essentially a free mint, it's probably not a bad idea to actually go for it, especially with how many opportunities are presented like that.
Yeah, no, with Avalanche, the one thing I've seen in my X feed has been about their card, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's one I'm curious about. I think it just said, Avalanche. You can use AVAX and a couple stable coins. I don't know if it was much more spread than that. I need to look into it, but I've got this thing for off ramping right now because I feel that during good runs and people are using these exchanges, their accounts get frozen, things happen, the system's bogged down, whether it be Coinbase or all the rest. And I want as many options as possible, right? So, I have UltimoPay Card, Coinbase, like basically got all the cards you could get. So the couple that I'm still looking at is how the Avalanche one's, the AVAX Visa one works, and then the MetaMask one. So those are two that MetaMask one I'm on, I think, the waiting list. So I'm going to check out those. But yeah, I see this and see Avalanche. And like the first thing I think is like, ooh, their card. Need to look into that as well.
Mm-hmm.
But this is cool. I mean, the thing that really keeps me focused on Avalanche right now is Big Red.
Yeah, I know.
And the love for Big Red, and I feel like, and this is no disrespect.
And Arena.
Yeah, and Arena.
Again, we're on Arena right now. This is another
Oh,
really good
yeah.
opportunity for everyone that is already involved with the gaming scene on Arena. If you guys haven't gotten the chance to do this free mint yet, definitely if you're using Arena, there's a chance that you already have earned 0.053 AVAX.
Yeah, just by signing up. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, literally. So there's a lot of cool opportunities that come with something like this, and especially if they're trying to get people to showcase their games, their play, building out their network on Arena. We've seen an uptick as far as how many people are using Arena on the day to day. So this is a cool opportunity.
And look, I dragged it out for 6 months to probably a year, but really, it's as easy as one click to be.
It literally was that easy.
You go to the Arena app or the site and you click to connect with your Twitter X profile, and it just pulls your info over, and then you could go and change some things around, and that's pretty much it. But no, I like Big Red and Arena are and no disrespect to other great things going on the ecosystem, but those two keep me there and keep me focused. And part of having that AVAX, getting that AVAX card, say spending AVAX would be, well, not that I'm going to sell my Big Red NFT, but to see what I bought it at and then how much it was, it makes you think, well, if I'm going to be able to make some good profits with AVAX, it might just be a good way to just spend it directly, right? So,
well, I'm also looking at the new MetaMask card. I realize it's not that new.
No, but the thing is, it's new.
It's amazing. And having talked to Michael for so long at this point, Michael is amazing at just giving you the details as far as what's going on with the MetaMask card, how it's working, how he's using it. He was already showing the concept to me. Do you remember Creo Blockchain Week last year? So I met him randomly on the street with David while we were just trying to get some food before we were going to our next event. Absolutely amazing conversation. Sat down with him and he told us basically anything and everything MetaMask. It was so cool of an experience. And since then, dude, just the sheer amount of effort that I've watched him and what MetaMask is doing is insane. That way you can
When
on-ramp and
MetaMask made
off-ramp.
it so that you logged in and you could see all of your stuff, pretty much
Mhm.
all your networks or the most important things, I was like, finally, because there's
Literally.
other wallets that I've used because of that, and now I'm like, okay, great. But I wish I was able to get the card. I saw a few people who have it soon
It's so
enough.
cool.
I think it's really awesome. Look at we have a Blue saying he was looking at Coinbase One Card, a lot of negative feedback. Certain money on Coinbase, higher reward. There is not a limit on that, and you could like literally have $1 of in a stable coin or anything, and then assign that to the card. It's just not going to let you take out or do anything unless you have the funds over there. The one thing is that I think believe a lot of these cards that like that is that if you sell the crypto or when you make the transaction, they do it as if you were sold and there's taxes to be paid and things. So you got to be careful of the tax implications on some of these cards and how you use them. So, not financial advice on all this stuff, but definitely you got to look at that and look them up across the board. And, like there's options outside of the United States that probably don't report and what. So you pick your poison, what you want
With
to do.
the Coinbase cards, it's definitely, I'd say in my mind, preferred to be having like USDC as your main like transactional currency. But
Yeah.
I know you can use other currencies. It's just
I
then you do
operate out
run
of
in.
stables mainly too. Put it into stables and then
Mhm.
because we're not thinking in terms of Bitcoin or crypto with everyday purchases. It's not
It's
it's
just not
it's
there.
like learning a second language and people know some of the words right now, the popular words, but nobody
Well,
knows the
sometimes you're
language
right.
and or is fluent.
Sometimes
And
you are
because of that, it's
incurring
easier.
those extra fees and taxes, and you
Well,
don't know
fees
that.
and for on the fly spending. Like sometimes you're trying to do conversions and whatnot.
Mhm.
So
Good points.
it was brought up here just because there was a couple other tickers brought up. Where was it? I think Blue mentioned. Um, anyone talking about Alf? Is it a lost cause?
Ooh.
I got it here. It is sitting at 32 cents,
Mm.
number 602 at roughly a 37 market cap. This is the 1 month. Let's go to the year and see where it's been on the whole year. We had as high as $2, so 6-7x, and a year ago we were sitting at 163 coming off that April, I guess. But look, I know people in the team.
This is rough.
It's rough, but I think a lot of these projects that are in a tough spot too, and market caps down. Other ones that are related to this that everyone thinks kind of when you think of Alphas, you also think of Cadena, you think of Flux, and a handful, and all of them are right now very low market cap. Now, the one thing I will say is I know with Flux and with Alpha for sure that they are building and working and trying to make show revenue and do that. So I think that if you've been with the project for a while, you're probably DCAing in because it's a good buy-in. Alpha is a little bit newer in my mind, and while I do see the team out and making moves, this is at a low point and it's scary. But
Mhm.
if attention does get brought back over, you could see how 6 months ago it was if you get to that price, you're 6xing or more. So look, I would go into the telegrams, follow the X accounts, dig in, do a little bit more research, and see what's up. Now, look at did Dabs just shill KDA? I don't want to say it's a shill, but look at they showed up and they were at an event out in Vegas. They've been more present. They're at ETH Denver. I know they're trying to do EVM stuff. But like everything, like the other ones we mentioned, it's included. They're down low market cap. There's I don't know, controversy between the community. There's been different things that has gone on, but they're there building, trying to make way. I think that they've switched directions a little bit from what we saw last cycle, where everyone was trying to launch NFTs and projects like that. And maybe they hit their stride, but I'm going to group them with the greater group of altcoins outside of the handful that are in like the top 20, for example. and there's a few exceptions, it's going to be rough altcoin season. It's just going to be rough all around. I think that you got to bring more people in, have more building going on. This is for all of these projects, and we need to see how we could bring money to the altcoins. I don't see a lot of these institutions that are pushing Bitcoin higher and that are buying. Like BlackRock, I think today or yesterday bought like close to 2,500 more Bitcoin. They're not going around and buying, all these other projects straight out like this. Like we've heard people say, well, BlackRock just buys this or that. It's going to be, it's gonna moon. We got to look at the reality of things. And a lot of the money is going to Bitcoin now. Will it trickle down to altcoins? I think we'll see more in altcoins when more retail comes in. When does more retail come in? And the economy's doing better. Right now, we're looking at a conflict going on.
The major retail that we're seeing come into play right now still comes from stable coins or RWA though. Like that's where most of the money that's coming in right now is coming into play. Sure, there are some AI plays, of course. I won't deny that, but when you're looking at like the actual like massive money that's coming in right now, it's almost all through RWAs, and it's almost all related to stable coins in some way, shape, or form. So oddly enough, maybe we see like a really crazy stable coin thing happen. I don't know what else to.
There's a lot of stable coins. I think there's going to be a lot more.
There could genuinely be a lot more.
You have states talking about it and things like that. What if you have like half the states do a stable coin, and then you have like half the European countries have a stable coin?
How many states was it?
What ends up happening there? Is that just for transactions within the state? Like, to me, it's. I feel like it overcomplicates things. I don't know. I can't. It just doesn't add up or make sense to me. Like I feel like you just need a few.
So it looks like
have one or two on each chain.
2 states are already working with stable coins.
New York
Texas
and Wyoming. Be one of them, right?
No, New York and Wyoming.
New York is very surprising, but they're sharply turning around very quickly
then
on their stances on stuff.
The ones that are implementing regulatory sandboxes. Sure.
What?
They're implementing regulatory sandboxes.
I thought you mentioned sandbox, and I was like, hold on. No. So there's no way.
That's Florida, Nevada, Utah, West Virginia, and Texas. So you were right in that one. And then as far as the broader conversation, it looks like the stablecoin regulation is ongoing in Congress. Oh yeah, the legislation with the Genius Act passed by Senate already. That's one to create a federal framework for stablecoins.
Yeah, we didn't touch upon that, but that happened yesterday.
And that would actually be the one that is preemptively telling the states that they would all need their own stable,
or
that the federal would have a stable that interacts with all the states. Which,
so the thing that's
either
crazy
way
about
doesn't
this
sound that amazing.
do you think that the news and the stuff coming out on the media from the Middle East canceled the good news of that? Do you think that like we would have seen a little bit more positive in the market, or do you think that at this point there's just big money in and that's not moving the needle
sometimes
much right
I
now?
think that news in the Middle East is specifically used in the United States to detract away from other things that are currently happening.
But okay, so what else was, if that's the case, just in this situation, there's a few other things that were passed or whatnot. I'm wondering, there wasn't much attention on this, but
because there literally was next to no attention on the Genius Act. I'm not sure how all of this is going to.
I'm surprised it came about so quick,
Exactly. But again, we heard next to nothing of it when we've only really heard about the conflict that's going on in the Middle East. So again, I am curious if there's maybe some provisions or things that we're just not seeing.
Bullish on base, Saucy. Yes, Saucy deep into
everyone's bullish on ETH, right?
Bullish. I'm bullish.
Are you bullish on ETH?
Got Chuck on
because
base.
You have to be bullish on ETH to be bullish on base.
I'm half bullish on ETH, right? And I'm half bullish on Coinbase. So does that add up?
I think so. I'll take it.
Oh, so there was a tweet. It was one of the Tate brothers and some that porn chick who, you know, everyone runs a train on or whatever, like the Guinness Book number, whatever. And they're like AI together, and I'm like, two wrongs don't make a right.
Oh.
You saw that?
I know which one I know which one you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, just, you know, shit posting on the platform a little bit, having fun. But
yeah. Gets interesting out there, man.
It's crazy that half of the people that were like, damn, these people are clowns, they're in our space. It's like, no. I want some legitimacy here. I mean, we're getting it, I guess, with some bigger institutions and things. What was it? This is specifically for Blue. XRP. I think they got a spot ETF in Canada. Isn't that today? Right? Was that today?
I'm pretty sure that is.
I know Blue is just super bullish on XRP, but no, for those who are, that's making a move. There was a couple. I think the Solana ETF here was pushed back, and another one might have been pushed back to July.
3iQ's new XRP ETF backed by Ripple begins trading on the Toronto Stock Exchange with 0 management fees for the first 6 months.
There you go. XRP to 156,000.
That is the second XRP ETF on the Canadian Stock Exchange.
It's going to 156,000 on the low end. Not financial advice.
Yeah, 589.
Sorry, whenever I hear
589.
XRP, there's always someone who throws out the most ridiculous number, and like my brain implodes because the number they throw out, I'm like, you could take every dollar and anything that's worth everything in the entire planet, and it doesn't equal the market cap that some of the numbers go to. It's crazy. But I see that 8 to 10 range. Am I gonna ape in? Personally, no. I have a bag from lower, but you know, nothing that I'm is gonna move the needle significantly. But I still think it's probably good for like a 4x. But those altcoins.
It's okay. It could be better. It could be worse. It could be.
Oh, look at this. Top of the hour. So in 1 hour, just before we wrap up, in 1 hour, I believe the Fed is going. We'll see what happens. I personally think we're going to hold. Toki, you're in agreement, right? Hold the rates.
Because if it does anything else, we're screwed.
Yeah, if anything else happens, we're gonna see some volatility. I'm almost certain of it. A drop. People are gonna be very surprised. I think that's gonna be bullish. And if they were to hike it on top of all the other, on top of the fear that's coming out of the Middle East, I think that we might get those even cheaper alt prices, right? Maybe see, like you're saying, under 100K Bitcoin.
I think we're gonna see it, dude.
Well, let's hope not.
Hey, what's up?
But it's not something Gensio is afraid of.
If you want to survive, you got to build a house.
No, we do not understand.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Get back at the Gensio Media House.
Awesome. Thanks so much for joining us today.